Really what they're doing is looking for places to ambush their prey at. So maybe they can get them from around the bend or something. Oh, hello. That's a good one, I think. Stay on, baby. Fish. Woo, let's go. It's a beautiful Saturday afternoon. This morning, I got to go hang out with my boy Anthony and talk about some business stuff for a client, work on some advertising and marketing strategies that we're doing for him. Kat is coming back home pretty soon, 6 o'clock. She'll be back here. I got some ribs in the oven, slow cooking them up real nice. So should be a good night too. Hopefully we can hang out with our friends and go catch a movie or something. But right now, what we're about to go do is some fishing, as you might have guessed. But we're gonna be doing something a little bit different this episode on Just Add Water. What we're gonna do is a little bit of pond hopping. Right around where we live, there are a ton of neighborhood ponds and lakes and canals. So we're gonna go head over that direction and jump from pond to pond or canal to canal. Or maybe we'll just find one super juicy one and stay there for the duration of this video. But what we're gonna do is a challenge. That's the more interesting part of this video. We're gonna do a little bit of a challenge, and the challenge is gonna be for every fish I catch, I will answer one marketing question. So if I catch no fish, you get no answers this video. And if I don't catch any fish, I might not post this video. So there's probably gonna be at least one fish catch and one marketing, branding, advertising question answered in this video. But there could also be 25, 30, 40, 50, even 60 marketing questions answered in this video. And we should be in for a good time, so stay tuned, and I'll see you guys at the pond.
Sounds great.
All right, well here we are, out here at the first spot. Never fished this spot before. Doesn't look like there's much structure, just kind of looks like a bunch of grass. I don't know how this is gonna be, but I'm just gonna throw a moving bait. I'm throwing a spinner bait right now. I'll throw a moving bait and just try to cover some water and see if maybe we can get something to bite. Well, this kind of sucks. So also you want to look for points. You can see here we're on a point where it kind of just curves around here. You want to look for points. Sometimes fish will stack up on points. Really what they're doing is looking for places to ambush their prey at. So maybe they can get them from around the bend or something. Oh, hello. That's a good one, I think. Woo! That's what I'm talking about. That's a good fish right there. Oh yeah, and it popped out too. Ooh, this is a big mama. This is a big mama here. Look at that, folks. Look at that. That's a good 2-pounder, 2.5 pounder, maybe 3. Oh, that's a 3 for sure. That's for sure a 3. That's probably the biggest fish I've caught. Look at that. All right, buddy, let's get you a nice release. There you go, buddy. Woo! Well, that's what I'm talking about, people. Got me super sweaty out here. Wrecked my shoes. Soaking wet shoes. But it was worth it for that fish. That was the biggest fish I've ever caught. It's all up from here, baby. Ooh, another fish just jumped. 3-pounder on a spinnerbait, on a $2 spinnerbait. If that's the biggest fish I'll catch, I'll tell you what I want to do is I'm going to give away the bait of the biggest fish. I can't even talk right now. I'm going to give away the bait that catches the biggest fish of the day. And all you got to do is just drop a comment below, and I'll pick at random the person to ship the biggest fish bait to. Yes. So you know what that means. I'm about to have to answer the very first marketing question. Yes, that was badass. About time checks, about 5 o'clock. Okay, so question number 1 comes from Tim. Tim asks, how should I be doing SEO? And that's an awesome question. Thank you for the question, Tim. You should be doing SEO. So SEO, for those who don't know, is search engine optimization. Now, basically what it is it optimizes your page, your website, your posts to show up in Google search results. So when you type something in, whatever it is you want to be found for, you can optimize your stuff to show up for that. So how should you be doing SEO? The very first thing that you want to do, and the very basics, is called on-page SEO. Now what on-page SEO is optimizing your web pages for SEO, for showing up. If you have WordPress, there's a very easy plugin to download. It's called Yoast SEO. That is the very first thing that you want to do. Download that plugin. It's very user-friendly. It will walk you through all the stuff that you need to do to your pages or to your posts to optimize them for SEO. Essentially what you can do is pick a keyword and then add descriptions, meta descriptions, headlines, titles, including the keyword in the post a certain number of times, making it readable, including enough information for Google to rank your page so they know that people are finding the right answers to the questions that they're asking when they go onto your website or your post. The next thing that you want to do, which is essential, that everybody could be doing and should be doing, is register your website with Google Search Console. Now, Google Search Console is a free tool by Google that will give you a ton of information on how people are finding your site, like what they're typing in to find it, what they're typing in to come to it in Google, and also how well your web pages and your website is optimized for SEO. So it will look at a bunch of different factors, and it'll give you things that you need to either change or things that are working good that you already done properly to your website. So the second thing that you want to do is use Google Search Console, register your website with Google Search Console. So the next thing that you want to do, the third thing, or one of the things that you want to do, is to start creating pieces of content. So it's rumored that Google is starting to rank as a factor more and more the overall popularity of your brand. So what that means is across the web, how much search traffic or engagement or impressions or just value your brand has over people. So they can look at how many times your website is being typed into Google and trending over time. So if they see that over the last year, there's been a continual rise in the amount of times that your website's being searched, that's a huge factor for them to, include your website maybe higher than another website that's not being searched as often as yours is. So a way to do that is through the pieces of content that you create. So it's not only, those blog posts and videos not only help you with being able to show up in Google search results when people are typing in how to catch bass in the fall or whatever sort of blog or website you have. It not only helps you show up for answering people's questions, creating that content also lets Google know that your website is being that your website is trending up over time because it's getting engagements on Facebook, and it's getting engagements on Instagram, and it's getting impressions on Pinterest and clicks on Pinterest, which then also lead to more people knowing your brand, recognizing your brand, and then also typing your brand name into Google more often to give it a positive trend over time, which will help with your SEO. We are gonna go to another lake and see if we can get any more. We made it a quick 2-minute drive to the next spot. This one looks pretty juicy. There's like some old looking bridge. Let's check it out. I wonder why they cut this bridge down. Holy shit. That was freaking crazy. There was a big fish. It was like 4 fish. I gotta be quiet. The fish can hear so good. I didn't know fish had ears. Fish. Whoa, big fish over there too. Oh. Oh. Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah. That might be a good one, or a little guy. Oh yeah, that's a little guy. He's not bad. He's not bad. 1.5 pounds. All right. Yes. Ooh, barely hooked too much. Just popped right out. That's beautiful. That's what we like to see. Little, yeah, he's definitely not 1.5 pounds. He might be a 1/2 pound. Little 1/2 pounder. I wish I was like, there we go. That was nuts. Dude didn't know what was going on. All right, sick. So let's answer another question. Okay, so Sebastian asks, how do you get the most out of your content? And I think it's something really important that a lot of people don't utilize their content properly. So you spend all this time, effort, money, making stuff, whether it's blog posts or videos or podcasts or images or whatever it is. You're creating your content that arguably takes, the most amount of your time, effort, and money. But too many people just put it out and that's it, one and done. Never re-promote it, never retarget people that watched it or viewed it or engaged with it. That's it, just the one and done thing. And I think, and something that I do, I think some people or most people need to do more of is use their content more often and milk it, really get the most out of it. So how do you get the most out of your content? Well, what I like to do is start off with the biggest idea possible. Start off thinking about how I can make an idea into the biggest thing possible, whether it's a video or a blog post or a podcast. What's the biggest thing? What's going to take the most time, effort, and energy? Okay, once I got that, that's my treetop, I guess. That's the top of the building. That's the top floor. After that, what I'll do is I'll break that down and I'll say, okay, so I got this really big idea about answering people's questions for marketing. Okay, now how do I get the most out of that? How do I make sure that I utilize that in the best way possible? And I don't just put out one video and that's it. You never hear from it again. What does it look like in all the other pieces of content that I need to put out, which is stories on Instagram, pictures and static images on Facebook, maybe boomerangs, GIFs, the video, the blog post, all the different pieces of content that I need to create. How can I use this one idea and this one big idea to make all those pieces of content? So what I'll do is I'll start off with the big idea. I'll do that, and then from there, I'll think about what does that big idea look like in image form? What does that big idea look like in video form? What does that big idea look like in podcast form, in static image form, in Instagram story form? What do all those things look like? And then now, instead of creating a different piece of content for an image, different video, different podcast, different all these pieces of content with different ideas, I come up with one main theme and I create that big one, and then I break that down. So maybe I'll do a video about this like I'm doing right now, but I'll also write about all these different questions and create text forms of them that I can put on my blog that people can then read. And then in that blog post, I'll include this video just in case they didn't want to read it. They can watch the video. That was a money cast, by the way. I ought to get something off of that. And while I'm doing these, I'll make Instagram stories, right? And while I'm doing this, I'll take pictures that I can put on my Instagram, that I can put on my Facebook. So now, instead of having to create 15 different pieces of content, all I need to do is think about one overall theme and the biggest piece of content for that theme, and then break that piece of content down into multiple little smaller levels of that piece of content that I can then put out and lead back. The thing to remember here is that all those can lead back to the big piece of content, that big long form piece of content. The pictures can say, the caption can be the overall theme about what I was trying to convey in that video, and then I can say, to hear my full idea, watch the video. Here's the link. So I think that's how you can reduce overwhelm and be able to create enough content for you to be able to get traffic and get people going on your page and completing whatever sort of goal you want them to complete. That's how you can create enough of that content while reducing the overwhelm, because when you start to think about how much stuff you really need to put out and you try to put out different ideas around all those different things, you're gonna go crazy. That's a really good way to go crazy, as opposed to thinking about one big idea and then milking that and breaking that piece of content up into all the different smaller pieces of content that you can create. Well, that's all, guys. It was an awesome day, a beautiful Saturday evening over here in West Palm Beach, Florida. Thank you guys for tuning in to the second episode. What is this? What is this? Fish blood. Oh, snap. Your boy's got fish blood on his face. That's how you know. So thank you guys for tuning in to the second episode of Just Add Water. We do this once a week on Facebook and YouTube. If you have any questions that you'd like for me to answer in this series, please leave me a comment below. Also, be sure to leave a comment below, and I will give away the lure that I caught that biggest fish on today, that 2.5, 3 pounder, the biggest fish of my life, my PB. I'm gonna give that lure away to somebody random who comments in the comments. I'll send it to you so you can have that. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and peace.